Welcome, gentlemen. Today is June the 27th, it's a Sunday, and this is your master speaking. What we are about to go over today is a few new things that are going to happen in 9.1, which is worth pointing out because they are pretty important, and then also I will be doing the dirty job. I will be taking on the task of informing you about a few things I'm sure you have missed are going to happen in 9.1, so you don't have to actually put in any effort, you're just gonna be spoon-fed the news as usual. As long as you are roughly listening to this. Are you still? Or have you already looked on your other monitor and started doing something else and completely forgot what you're about to be told? Yes, that's me. That happens to me too, don't worry. Now, the first thing we have to point out for today is the additional quality of life that Graceful Blizzard decides to leave us, which is newly crafted helm, necklace, bracers, belt, and ring legendaries are now going to always be created with a socket. This was the spawn of the problem created by Blizzard themselves, by the way. Nobody else actually created this. The fact that Blizzard is adding Shards of Domination gear to 9.1. So you're gonna have 5 different pieces depending on your armor type, which are going to have a special socket from the raid loot. Which means if you have a legendary in those slots, it will be in conflict. You would have to choose. Do you want a Shard of Domination socket or do you want a legendary socket? That's kind of annoying. So, because so many people will have to recraft their legendary eventually, like me, like myself, I have basically all of my legendaries are in the boots or in the helmet, which are Shards of Domination socket for me, so I have to recraft them all, basically. Blizzard is going to do you the favor of saying, well, okay, fine, because you have to recraft a bunch of them, at the very least now you can recraft them with a guaranteed socket, a normal socket, which is still not going to help me because I'm gonna have to craft them in the gloves and in the cloak, which don't have a socket, so I'm not getting it for free myself, but for someone who does plan to recraft their legendary in those socket slots, they will get one for free. We have already announced, we have already told you the cheat code of remember to save one of the Season 1 sockets from Venari, because when 9.1 launches, Venari will no longer sell that socket, but you can still use that socket to socket a legendary up to level 4, so up to 235 item level. Now, yes, if you want to be greedy, you can say crafting a level 4 legendary and then crafting a level 5 or level 6 one is going to cost you more gold because you will have to buy 2 different blank white legendary patterns, right? Because you have to buy the 235 one for rank 4 and then you have to buy the 249 or 262 ones for rank 5 or rank 6. So yes, technically, if you want to do this strategy, if you want to go for this, you will have to spend a few thousand more gold depending on how pricey your legendary recipes are. As a matter of fact, you should probably think about buying them right now, or you should have bought them a while ago to prevent the inevitable spike of cost that is going to happen in 9.1. That should be worth looking into, guys, especially if you're tight in money, in gold. Now, in case you are preoccupied by something like, well, I already have a base item, a base white item, and I don't see a socket, and it doesn't matter, okay? Even if you already did that, even if you already looked ahead and preemptively bought a base item, which still doesn't have a socket, it won't even have it once 9.1 launches, but will still generate a legendary with a socket. It might be that Blizzard is going to add the socket as 9.1 launches, so you will find it in your bags. Your base item will suddenly have a socket in your bags. Even if that base item does not, please know that once the legendary is crafted, it will have a socket. Now, the other important part of this video is worth remembering that Blizzard is planning, or rather, is going to change the level thresholds in which you will be able to upgrade your gear with Valor points. Remember, we talked about this being important because Valor has been slapped by the community because it was launched by Blizzard in the middle of Season 1. So plenty of people were at 220 plus item level, and when Valor launches were like, yeah, like who cares? I don't need this. Like myself, I still have only one item that I could have possibly used to upgrade with Valor, and I didn't loot one, so to me Valor was useless. In this season though, you will have Valor from the start. In this season, every single item you will be looting from Mythic Plus for quite a while, basically until you start looting Mythic raiding gear, every single item could be a juicy upgrade, because you might be looting it at item level 226, 229, and it can go all the way up to 246. So there is plenty of room for you to upgrade with Valor. Now, initially, because Blizzard changed the Keystone Achievements from being a fixed Mythic Plus level achievement, so you want the first achievement, you need to complete all dungeons at +5, and then you need to complete them all at +10, and finally you need to complete them all at +15 to get these achievements and therefore unlock Valor upgrades. Because now we have the Mythic Plus score added by Blizzard, they changed this into reaching 1000, 1500 and then 2000 score. But now the news is that to make this more flexible, so to allow you to reach more breakpoints and being able to upgrade more smoothly your gear, now it has been changed like this. The initial 750 rating has been lowered to 600, whereas the second of the 750 rating requirements has been increased to 1000, together with the first 1500 rating, which was worth for the 236 item level, the rank 9 of your Valor upgrades, lowered to 1000, and the second one, the 10th rank, 239 item level, lowered from 1500 to 1400, and then the 11th rank, which was 2000, has been lowered to 1700. And then of course the 2000 rating rank is still at 2000, is still at the max. So with this, basically Blizzard plans to create a more smooth level of checkpoints for your Valor upgrades. So maybe you don't have to wait something like 3 weeks or 4 weeks before you have gotten all of your score in line to get the upgrades. You can upgrade, 3 item level by 3 item level by 3 item level as the weeks go on. The last thing worth mentioning related to Valor, just in case people were wondering, no. Just like it happened with other similar systems, something like Titan Residuum, for example, in BFA, all of your current Valor is going to be upgraded. We can call it upgraded to gold. So no, you will not have any Valor once Season 2 starts, so just dump it to whichever item you think you were on the fence on upgrading or not. You won't really need Valor anymore because it will just turn into gold. On a similar note, we can say the same thing for the Great Vault. There is no need in doing any Great Vault work up to the week where Season 2 actually launches, which is July the 6th. So even next week, because Mythic Plus is not going to be with the new affix, it's not going to be the new Mythic Plus, it doesn't matter if you are doing a +15 in time, you won't be getting the new item level from the Great Vault, the reset of July the 6th. It will still be the old season, Season 1 loot, capped at 226, okay? Now on to some more frivolous news. These two were rather important changes added by Blizzard, but now we have a few other additions. Number one, they actually changed, Blizzard buffed the Hunter Legendary. So for everyone that is actually going to be raiding and looting this piece of gear and will actually be using it, the Legendary has been buffed. The Legendary was nerfed initially a couple of times, and now it's getting buffed by about 50%, looks like, in its damage. Again, it's a 1 minute cooldown special ability whose main purpose, real strong purpose, is going to be the AoE silence. That's what it's going to be good for. The fact that the damage is getting buffed is rather irrelevant. The ability itself is not super powerful. Many hunters, many high IQ hunters would have much rather had this ability do 0 damage but have a 30-second cooldown. 30-second cooldown AoE silence ability would have been really powerful in Mythic Plus. But hey, I guess you can take a damage buff as well. The other thing worth mentioning about flying in 9.1. So this thing, as we pointed out before, the Memory of the Sunless Skies is what you're going to be getting to fly. Yes, you won't be flying in the new zones, you won't be flying in Kortia, you won't be flying in Demo, you just will be flying in the, the questing continents of Shadowlands. The real addition is that while you will have to wait a couple of weeks to get this, to actually be able to finally fly, there is one thing that has flown, no pun intended, under the radar, which is the fact that once 9.1 hits, you actually will no longer need Draenor Pathfinder and Broken Isle Pathfinder Part 1 and 2 completed to be able to fly in Worlds of Draenor and Legion zones. So basically Blizzard did something similar to the legacy loot they did to old expansions. They are basically removing the requirements of old expansions. They have now deemed Warlords and Legion old expansions enough to not require you to get Pathfinder to fly. Now, to fly in those zones, all you need is expert riding, so basically flying. That's all you need to buy on your account, on your character, which is also very cheap in gold, and then you will be able to fly in the old zones. No, BFA is still considered, you know, being the latest expansion before Shadowlands, you will still need BFA Pathfinder 1 and 2 to be able to fly in BFA zones. Now, the last thing for the video was pointing out something related to Legendaries. I'm sure people are already starting to run some numbers and think about, okay, do I need to craft this Legendary? Do I need to craft that Legendary? When can I get my Covenant-specific Legendary patterns that will be unlocked once you reach Renown 46? So it's gonna be 3 weeks in. Then wondering about, should I craft one already at rank 4 and then upgrade it at rank 5? Should I save my new resource, my Soul Cinders, just to craft a rank 6, etc, etc. Please know that, first of all, since the initial clearing of Torghast will be locked, will be capped at layer 10, so layer 12, the maximum Soul Ash earnings will not be available in the first week, because crafting a rank 5 at 249 item level will require 1100 Soul Cinders, and you should be gaining, provided Torghast is fully unlocked up to layer 12, you should be gaining 510 every week, 180 per wing, 50 from the weekly event, and then 50 from each of the bi-weekly assaults that happen in the MO. That's not gonna cut it. In 2 weeks, you will only be getting 1020 Soul Cinders, not 1100, so you will be short, which means you will need a third reset to be able to craft your first rank 5 legendary. And let's remember, everyone, that even the capped Torghast is going to only open on July the 6th, which means the third reset will clock in on Wednesday the 20th of July, or Tuesday the 19th if you're in an A, whatever. That's when you will be able to enter Torghast for the third time and will get enough Soul Cinders, and you will be able to craft your 5th rank of a legendary. And if you did want to wait, if you are one of those people, you will have to wait on August the 3rd, the 5th reset, to be able to craft a fully rank 6 legendary. Now, I don't think there is any benefit for you waiting that long to craft your higher item level legendary. It's not that you're gonna have to spend more Soul Cinders if you craft first the rank 5 and then the rank 6, but this was just to point out that basically July the 20th is when you will be looking in crafting your rank 5. This is particularly important for people who maybe wanted to wait because they wanted to craft a new legendary. All of those classes and specs who are going to get a new best in slot legendary once 9.1 hits, for example. Some of the people who will get the new Covenant specific legendaries added in 9.1, for example. That's how long you will have to wait, July the 20th, which is effectively the start, just to be clear, the start of the second reset of Mythic raiding. July the 6th is Heroic, July the 13th is the first week of Mythic, and then July the 20th is the second week of Mythic. So, roughly speaking, even if you're a Mythic raider, it should be early enough. If you wanted to hold on crafting your best legendaries, only having to wait the first week of Mythic, where you will be likely going through the first easy bosses, you won't need your absolute best in slot stuff that early on, so you will kind of be able to wait for the second reset of the raid. And this was all the information available for today. We have a shorter video on Sunday because, I don't know, actually, I've got other stuff to do, like sleeping and loitering around doing nothing. At the very least, it's not as hot as the last few days. That's a good thing, I guess. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you've enjoyed the stuff, please remember to subscribe to the channel and then do all of the other things that people tell you to do, you know, at this time. You know, follow me on Twitter, which I don't have. Check out my stream that I don't use. Look me up on Instagram, where I'm not there. And if you want, donate some money to my Patreon, which I don't use. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys soon. And in the meantime, oh yeah, and also join the community over at my Discord, which doesn't exist.